We are back with a look at the economy under President Trump's second term. Now, Mr. Trump ran on a campaign that promised, among, of course, other things, but to end inflation and make America affordable again. Well, 1 year in, let's do a gut check. Has he delivered on those promises? Yesterday, on the first anniversary of his return to the White House, Mr. Trump pointed the finger at former President Biden while touting his tariffs.
So everyone said, oh, tariffs will cause inflation. We have no inflation. We have very little inflation. Biden had inflation, and he didn't do tariffs. We had a huge problem. A lot of the Canadian auto plants are closing, and they're moving into the United States. Same thing with Mexico, same thing with Germany, and same thing with Japan and other countries. They're moving into the United States because of tariffs, because they don't want to pay the tariffs.
Christine, we are lucky to have you here alongside me today to break down some of these numbers. Okay, I want to read a quote from the president here. This was just from the spring. He promised jobs and factories will come roaring back into our country. Has that happened?
Well, so last year was the weakest year for job growth that wasn't a recession since 2003. About 584,000 net new jobs added in the year last year. And when you look at just put that in context, it's half of the job pace of the prior year. Now, the president yesterday saying in that press briefing that they don't want federal government jobs and they don't want jobs for immigrants. So that's why that number is lower. That's a whole new tack for the United States. It used to be that federal government jobs, well-paid jobs and immigrant jobs, those things grew the economy at large. But then you look at manufacturing in particular. You know, the point of so many of his tariffs is to bring manufacturing back to the United States. So many factories use what are called intermediate goods, meaning they import things to make their stuff in the U.S., so those tariffs make it more expensive. Every month since April, manufacturing jobs have shrunk in the United States in the first term.
Interesting. Okay, I want to keep on actually doing this where we're going through some of the things the president said, you fact-checking them. Here's another one. This is actually just from a few days ago. GDP is smashing expectations with the fastest growth for this country in many years. Is that true?
Yeah, look at there at 4.3% for the fourth quarter. That is a strong performance in the economy. The third quarter, very strong as well. Earlier in the year, that's third quarter and that's second quarter. But you can see a strong performance in the later part of the year. And that is really the strongest since, I think, 2023. There are hopes that the economy will remain strong in the beginning of this year, as measured by real gross domestic product. What you hear from consumers so often, though, is that this K-shaped economy, that, wow, the economy is booming. How come I feel like I'm not booming? The president yesterday said, you lost money under Joe Biden. You are richer under me. That is his message to the American people.
All right, here's one just from yesterday. This was at the speech at the White House. He said we had essentially no inflation. What do the numbers show?
There is still inflation. The inflation rate right now is about 2.7%. He's pointing to, see that big peak there?
Yep.
That's 9% inflation in 2022. Joe Biden, that's after.
I mean, that's a big drop.
And that is a big drop. But if you just zero in on the right side of that, the inflation rate right now is essentially exactly where it was when the president took office. So there hasn't been really meaningful improvement if you just look at the overall CPI. And inside some of these categories, prices for electricity, prices for auto insurance, prices for housing, prices for groceries. This is just under the president's first year. Gas prices, though, the president taking credit for that. And he points out that gas prices are down, and he thinks that will help lower prices for everything else.
Was that little break in the line, the government shutdown?
Yes.
Okay, there we go.
Very rare and
exactly. Okay, last one here. Another quote from him. This is also yesterday. We've had the best stock market in history.
Well, he was saying this as the market was tanking yesterday, by the way, but he has his first term a 13% return in the S&P 500. That's the most kind of broadest stock market gauge. You can see how that ranks with other presidents' first years in office. It's shy of what Joe Biden did, 16%. I will point out, presidents get too much credit and too much blame for the stock market under their watch, but the president of the United States takes credit for every one of these numbers that are good. Yesterday was a tough day in the markets. This sell America trade on the idea that, are we back to square one with a trade war with Europe? We'll see how that all plays out today. The market is now lower for 2026, but it had been hitting record high after record high. So he is right on record high stock prices.
And it comes to that trade war, I mean, uncertainty, market doesn't like it, and that's exactly where we're back.
Exactly. They were really close to signing a U.S. trade deal. They'd worked on it since the summer, and now it seems to be in question.
Absolutely. All right, Christine, thank you so much. It was fun to have you here for that.
We thank you for watching, and remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube channel.